10 amazing ways to die in your sleep. Next to eating a healthy diet and getting enough exercise, getting enough sleep is the cornerstone of a healthy lifestyle. But did you know that sleep can also be dangerous? See also, the 10 large facts about dreams. There are actually many things that can go wrong if you close your eyes and faint, and for some people, the danger is enough that they will never wake up again. In fact, according to an ancient Greek proverb, death and sleep are brothers and sisters. Death is the complete fulfillment of sleep and sleeps into an imperfect state of death. Sleep, for the most part, is often seen as a do-it-yourself activity for our bodies. But the fact is that our brains really work while we are asleep. It is also true that there are many unanswered mysteries about sleep that modern scientists still have to solve. 1. As it turns out, there are still amazing, and terrifying, things that happen when our cognitive brain goes down and our bodies start to fall asleep. And sometimes, the results can be absolutely terrifying. 10 sudden heart attacks. Sudden cardiac arrest, SCA, sudden cardiac arrest, also known as SCA, can occur when a sinoatrial node, a cardiac node that acts as your body's natural pacemaker, becomes a problem. 2. In other words, this condition occurs when the cardiovascular system malfunctions. And in some cases, it kills within the first few minutes. How does it kill? Yes, it reduces blood flow to the brain. And the scary part? Not only possible during sleep, but half of the cases show no symptoms before a heart attack. 9. Toxic carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide, or CO, is a colorless, odorless gas that can kill if most of it enters the lungs. Colorado can be found in fuels from running cars, stoves, grills, fireplaces, gas distances, furnaces, and so on, and it can be difficult to find without a carbon monoxide detector. How does it kill? Basically, if enough is built into a small enough space, breathing it can be dangerous. And if you smell it enough, just having it in your lungs is not enough to sign a contract in a last way. If awake, the victim may experience symptoms such as dizziness, weakness, headache, or upset stomach. But what if he catches you asleep? Yes, people who are asleep often have no symptoms, and they may die asleep. 3. 8. Myocardial infarction. What is myocardial infarction or heart disease? Myocardial infarction, more commonly known as a heart attack, can occur during sleep, although thankfully, the chances are very good that this type of heart event will wake the victim before it kills them. 4. A heart attack occurs when blood flow to a part of the heart is blocked. This blockage can destroy part of the heart muscle. How does it kill? If enough heart muscle is damaged, the heart may not be able to pump any blood to the rest of the body. This can lead to heart failure, which can be fatal if treatment is not immediately available. Unfortunately, it is not uncommon for a heart attack victim to seek treatment while they are asleep, and that is a frightening aspect. 7. Central sleep apnea. Sleep breathing. Central sleep apnea is basically a disease that causes the patient's breathing to stop and start repeatedly while unconscious. It occurs when the brain does not send the right electrical signals to the muscles that control the respiratory system during sleep and is believed to stem from a problem with brain freezing. How does it kill? Basically, if the condition of the apnea is severe enough, hypoxemia can develop, which occurs when the oxygen levels in the body fall below the level required for normal healthy functioning. This basically leads to the depletion of oxygen. 5. If the brain is not able to wake up the body with enough time to breathe, prediction can be fatal. See also, 10 most amazing ways to die in your sleep. 6. Unexplained nocturnal death syndrome. This is undoubtedly one of the strange items on our list. An unexplained nighttime death syndrome, SUNS, was first reported in 1977 among Hmong refugees in Southeast Asia in the United States and Canada. Since then, it has gained a tremendous reputation in both books and the dark corners of the internet. In the Philippines, they call it banging gut, Hawaii, dream disease, and in Thailand, lai tai, meaning sleep and die. The exact cause of death of the island's victims is still unclear, but the presentation remains the same. It basically causes young, healthy people to die in their sleep for no apparent reason. Scientists are no longer sure, but it does happen frequently in South Asia, and researchers suspect a variety of explanations, from the improper functioning of the ion channel to ventricular fibrillation. 6. 5. Cerebral aneurysm. Intracranial aneurysm with 3D brain. The cerebral aneurysm, also known as the brain aneurysm, is actually a weak spot on the wall of a blood vessel in the brain. It's kind of like a little balloon full of blood. Over time, like blood clots in the arteries, it continues to weaken and swell, and if the pressure rises too much, it could be catastrophic. How does it kill? When an aneurysm ruptures, the bleeding usually lasts for a few seconds. But the blood causes damage to the surrounding brain cells and can increase the pressure inside the skull. If the pressure is too high, the condition can be fatal. 7. 4. Enterovirus D68. Is enterovirus D68 worse than Ebola? This is one of the most obscure things on our list, but that makes it less alarming. Enterovirus D68, EVD68, is a type of non-polio enterovirus that first appeared in California back in 1962. But back in 2014, there was a dramatic increase in the number of reported cases, leaving researchers wondering if the virus would be more widespread in the coming years than they had expected. Symptoms of illness, sometimes no symptoms at all. And of course, doctors say the disease is more potent than Ebola in the US. 8. How do we kill? It can cause severe respiratory problems, characterized by loud noises that have become a frightening sign of infection. It has also been linked to muscle weakness and inflammation of the spinal cord, perhaps more frightening than breathing. Disease death is rare, but sometimes, the symptoms are dangerous to kill, even if the victim is asleep. 3. Dry drowning. What is dry drowning? Most of us are aware that you can drown in the water. This is obvious, but a lot of people aren't familiar at all with the term, dry drowning, and what it means. It turns out, it is a pretty horrific way to die. Basically, the idea behind this danger is that it is a type of drowning that can occur even after the victim has left the water. It's technically still drowning, but dry drowning is the term that has come to be used to describe it, though some doctors have argued for the dropping of said term. It can occur when inhaled water, even just a drop or two, makes it past the throat and into the lungs. This usually causes symptoms, but they are sometimes mild and easy to miss. 9. The scary thing is that this water can cause breathing problems that get worse over time. In some cases, these breathing problems don't strike until hours, or even days later, after the victim has fallen asleep. So-called dry drowning is actually pretty rare when you look at total deaths attributed to drowning, but this makes it no less disturbing. How does it kill? It basically asphyxiates the victim, depriving them of oxygen until they suffocate. To the Widowmaker heart attack. Inside a Widowmaker heart attack, while most heart attacks have a decent chance of waking their victims up before death occurs, the Widowmaker tends to be an exception. We've already mentioned heart attacks in general once on this list, but this particular type of infarction deserves its own spot. Why? Because it's among the deadliest types of heart attacks that can occur. It happens when the left main artery, also known as the left anterior descending artery, gets blocked. A 100% blockage in this artery is almost always fatal without immediate emergency care, hence the nickname. 10. How does it kill? Heart attacks with severe enough blockages result in damaged heart muscle. And if the muscle becomes too damaged to pump blood, the result can be fatal. 1. Obstructive sleep apnea. Obstructive sleep apnea. Obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, is a sleep disorder in which the victim repeatedly stops and starts their breathing process during sleep. OSA is by far the most common type of sleep apnea, and as it turns out, it is also probably the most likely reason that a person may die in their sleep. This type of sleep apnea is literally caused by an obstruction that blocks the airway. This obstruction is usually caused by sagging throat muscles, though the muscles and tissues of the tongue, uvula, tonsils and soft palate can all play a part. It is estimated that as many as 22 million Americans suffer from sleep apnea, but that 80% of cases go undiagnosed, making it a true silent killer that many people remain unaware of. How does it kill? People with OSA experience sudden drops in blood oxygen levels when they stop breathing. If they're already at risk for a heart attack, stroke, or heart failure, then OSA can be the trigger that sets a sudden cardiac event into motion. 11. In such cases, Death may occur before the victim even has a chance to wake up.